Hello, hello! Welcome to another episode of the Faust Normalized series. And today, we're going to talk about JS. Yes, this button. So, generally speaking, if JK is one of my favorite buttons, JS has to be my least favorite button of Faust. It may even be Faust's worst button outside of combos, but it does have its uses. So, without any more delays, let's do the usual order as always. So we're going to go over the general information, things that you should know about JS, gatlings, data, frames, hitbox, hurtbox, and all that. So we're going to cover that. Afterwards, we're going to go for uses. And JS doesn't have a lot of uses, but we'll just cover whatever it does do. And at the end, we're going to cover a few combos. And I'm already saying, if you mastered last week's combos, most of this is going to be pretty repetitive for you, since JS and JK confirm in very similar ways in a lot of situations. But I'll still show some extra combos, some things that you may want to see or know. So with that said, let's get to it. JS is a 14 frame startup. Okay, 14 frames. It's our slowest error button. 3 frames active, so not very active. It's, I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's our least active error button. I'm like pretty sure it's our least active, slowest startup. You're gonna see like a somewhat of a pattern with this one. It has 20 recovery, so generally speaking, don't whiff this. I don't think it's our most recovery. J.Deez might be more. I don't read up before this video about J.Deez as well, so I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure J.Deez is like 22 or something. Okay, check me on the dust loop later. So JS is a very nice move for gatlings, since it can gatling into J.D, but also JH and an air dash. So you can cancel it into quite a few things. You don't really cancel it into air dash a lot. I'll show when you do later. But it does have JD and JH as cancels, and the reason you want to cancel into JH, the reason that's so good, is because JH is a high level attack, and landing with JH is very good. So if you catch your opponent, you can cancel into JH like this. That's pretty nice. It's also very important that you can cancel it because it's one of your main combo tools. Basically, JH is like one of your ways to wall bounce the opponent. So you'll get a lot of situations where you're doing like a 5k, JS, JH, close left, JS, JH, right? This is like super common combo tools, combo cycles that Faust goes through. So generally speaking, pretty useful gatling and combos. Let's talk a bit about the hitbox and hurtbox. So while the animation may make you think this hits like here below Faust, the truth is JS kind of has a bit of a dead zone like there. You see like it's easiest to show this in the corner, but it exists in mid-screen as well. So even if it seems like it should hit, a lot of times it's not going to hit. So you want to learn the spacing for when it actually does hit. So keep these things in mind. Faust's pretty big when he's standing, so it's a bit easier to hit him, but against other characters it's going to be a bit more difficult. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Other than that, JS doesn't extend our hurt box that much, so let me just record Faust doing like 5k. Okay, this Omega anti-air kick, right? So while we do have JD to kind of like land against characters who kind of like throw a hurt box a bit forward, so JD is nice for that. JD has a problem where if you do it like this, right, and you're trying to catch somebody throwing out hurt box, if they block it, you're punishable. So let me do like a 5p punish. That should be fine. So as you can see, opponent is plus there. Okay, you may be able to block a grab, like if they do have a grab that can reach you, which could be the case. So it kind of depends on your spacing. So a grab would be a punish if you're in the correct spacing. I'm trying to show, I'll show this here. Yeah, JD also has this problem. Anyway, like, you got the idea. There are plus when you do that, and you may be unsafe depending on how high you do this. So that's like J.D. problem. And the reason that's a problem is since you don't have good cancels, they're kind of encouraged to just press on you, right? So JS doesn't have that problem. When you do JS, you can cancel into JH and whop, you're plus. It feels great. It's your turn to attack. You can do this kind of block string or go for something like that. That's also okay. You can do a low. So JS is really nice for that. The reason JD isn't is basically since you don't have any Gatlings and all your specials are bad, like in the air. So JS does have a bit of a nice point over JD for that one, but it's a bit less consistent for targeting. So let's say a Nagua is standing there and is doing close slash trying to enter you. Maybe he's doing like 6v. Zados do that too. Milia's could do close slash, even though Milia's close slash is something I wouldn't challenge. Even with JD, it's just like really hard to hit it. So anyway, characters standing on the ground trying to enter you. This and this are your tools, generally speaking. So JS, better on block. JD, better on hit. Keep these things in mind, okay? Great, so that's one use for JS. Another use for JS is to cancel it. And what does that mean? Okay, that means that in a lot of situations, you want to throw out JS in order to cancel it. Like this, for example. Okay, you create like a fast RC situation from J2K, right? And you want to set up a grab, okay? This grab trick is very, very nice. A lot of top players are going to eat that. A lot of other players are definitely going to eat that. You can do it from J2K, you can do it from Scarecrow, and you can do it to both sides from Scarecrow. If you do it properly, I'm going to fuck it up a few times more, apparently, because I'm doing like training mode right now. So yeah, you can do it from here. And of course, this is also like, you can make it like frame trap there. And you can do it to the other side. Yeah, like this. So both options are good. It kind of confuses the opponent. If you don't do it properly, then yeah, you're gonna have that like weird falling effect that you don't really want. But if you do it right, you can see you kind of zooming there, and it's really hard to catch that and to react in time. And you still have a close slash that you can threaten if you think they're gonna mash or try to like jump or backdash. So just very nice for these things. You can also cancel it from mix. It's another like setup that you can do. So like this into a grab. If you drift your mix upwards, you can frame trap with this. So you do something like this. You can do that into a low, right? Or you could do that into like a close slash to like get even more pressure. So up to you, whatever you want to do from it. It's a bit hard to tell when your JS is gonna hit and when it's gonna whiff. So yeah, just keep these things in mind. Anyway, not bad at all. Next option that you get from JS. So a big plus of being able to gut link to JH is that it can catch fuzzies. And what does that mean? It means that if your opponent is holding down after JS, they can get hit by JH. Let me just prove that. Last week I was too lazy to record stuff. So this is me not being lazy. So as you can see, it goes into a low from the JH. I block. If I hold down, as you can see, I get hit by the JH. Okay, so while this timing is not too hard, it does mean that you can play with it a bit. Do just a close slash JS. If you delay it more, then it would be more ambiguous. But as you can see, JS is a bit of a thinky move sometimes. Let me go to the wall to show this. We'll make it a bit easier. So like this. If the opponent is waiting for the block stun, he might be a bit too late to do this. I don't think it's super difficult, but it may add to their, to their mental stack, which means that after a JS, you can try and go for a command grab too. So it's a little thing that you can do there. Despite the pushback, this is like a range where like grab doesn't hit. Or it should be at least. Sorry, wait. Yeah, grab shouldn't hit in that range, but if you do a command grab, it would hit. So you can be grab punished for doing this, even though this is grab punishable. So they'll have to be mashing there. So you can keep that in mind if you want to use it. It's like a nice little trick. Try to test your opponent, see if they're awake. Other than that, JS is used to reset pressure. So that thing you saw me do just now, that close slash JSJH, is basically a pressure reset kind of thing where instead of doing your block string and maybe getting pushed out like this, you can do this thing, which is a bit risky. You can be anti-aired for it. You can be hit and sometimes even big time for this. But sometimes you're going to need that extra pressure, that extra risk bar for the opponent, or maybe that extra meter for you. I think from around 40%, I'm just taking a shot in the dark. I think from around 40%, if you do this kind of string, a close slash, yeah, you can get meter enough. You get enough meter to cancel your 5D, which could be useful. So sometimes if you see you're like getting pretty close to that meter, you might want to go for something like this. So you can like RC there and check your opponent. So that is something you might want to do. Maybe you're doing this so you could do... Why don't I get enough meter this time? Yeah, maybe you want to do this kind of BRC thing to maybe toss an item, or like, I don't know what you want to do there. Yeah, so you can do all sorts of things with this kind of thing, but it's mostly to reset pressure, kind of activate more pressure on the opponent, force them to either mash or look for this option, and then add to their mental stack in your offense. So that's another use for JS. When we're talking about air-to-airs and like using JS, in my opinion, this button shouldn't be used at all. You have JK, you have JP for close anti-air or air-to-air options, and you have JH to poke at anybody who's away from you. JS doesn't really cover any specific spot you want to cover in the air. So generally speaking, I wouldn't throw this out too much unless you really know you're going to hit, simply because it gives a better combo most of the time than JK and JP. So let me just show how this move looks like on the air block, and then we can move to combos, I believe. So on air block, you're basically doing the same thing you were doing with JK. You can auto confirm this into an air dash JS. If you stay like, if you do like a no drift, you can get a JSJH like this. If you delay your cancel by a bit, you can catch the opponent with a frame trap. This will beat out 6Bs as well, if you do it properly at least. If you do want to beat out 6Bs, I recommend drifting downwards. I would make your job a bit easier, so you don't get like 6 speed because you delayed it a bit too much. But as you can see, this is a true block string. So you can just do this or do this into a JSJH. On hit, I'll show like high jump as well, because sometimes you might want to do that, right? As you can see, this is a bit more tricky. You do have to drift downwards. It still works. But as you can see, just a bit drifting downwards. You still cancel it just as fast. But yeah, so it still works on air block, on super air block. But yeah, just keep it in mind. Anyway, combos. So from that auto confirm, you basically can do the same thing you were doing with JK. If you're a bit too far, you'll do like a Kara mix, which I will of course drop the first time as I am recording. So that's if you're too far. If you're close enough, you can get a close slash 2S mix, or a close slash 2S into thrust, whatever you prefer your opponent to be at. So both are good. You can also confirm into a mix from this. If you're close enough to the wall, you can get a wall break like this. This wall break is really hard to get on heavy characters, so you may want to keep that in mind. But yeah, JS into air dash, mix, 5k JK. Yeah, even on light characters, if you're misspaced a bit, then it could be a bit tricky. So yeah, keep that in mind. So these are kind of like normal combos you can do. If you confirm, if you don't like use the auto confirm with the air dash, you can go for a delay JS, like confirming JS, then doing another one. Then you delay the JH to get as much wall space as you can. If you do that, you can get these kind of like nice combos. This should do like about 180 damage. Yeah, 182. And this basically lets you, you know, do your normal routes and hit like pretty hard. I should say that from like over here, like way off to mid screen, this doesn't really do anything except for send your opponent far away. It does let you like throw an item, so it's not bad or anything to do, but it's preferable that you take the hard knockdown with mix. So around here, it's better in my opinion to just take this, take like the hard knockdown, close slash OTG. I think that's better. Yeah, anyway, you can go for some like fancier combos. Basically, you can do like an air dash into slight drift down JK J.Deez. This is a bit hard combo to get since the change to JK pop up, where like JK makes the opponent go higher since like season 2. This used to be like a season 1 combo that was like pretty consistent. So this is how it looks like. You can get 2S there, of course, too. So you're drifting downwards a bit after the hit. As you can see, you're also delaying your JK because you want Faust to drop down. But it's like a nice damage. It has like nice consistency. It works on all weight classes. Very nice. I think on Faust specifically, you can get like some, yeah, something like this, which is, I don't know, pretty nasty. I don't know why you get like Faust specific combos on Faust, but that's fine, I guess. Of course, if you're air dashing, you can also do a JSJH in the end. Like this. If you're close enough to the wall, it will wall break. As you can see, it's a bit hard to get like a wall break there, but sometimes you get it. I think you can get like JK there, if you're close enough. Let me try and show it. Yeah, like this. Which is another nice way to get a wall break. When you're at the wall, except for this situation, which is super uncommon, this is like almost never gonna happen to you. You're not really getting a lot of ways to like side switch the opponent. Even from this side switch, it's a bit difficult to get like an actual wall break, unlike JK. As you can see, this is super hard to pick up the opponent here. It's because the opponent like flies so far away from you when this happens. So I wouldn't be too worried about this. This is not a super common thing anyway. When the opponent is more far away, then what will happen is that you'll get just like the normal confirm, and you'll just do this. If you do have meter, let's get to the meter section. Use basically the same close slash JD combos. You can do whatever you want there. Make sure that like you don't do the close slash S, close slash JD, BRC JD close slash 6H thrust. It doesn't break the wall unless you put another hit into the combo. So you can do it like maybe with a 5k. That should work. Let me just make sure that I'm not lying. So close slash 5k 6H thrust. No, even that doesn't work. So I was lying. I'm sorry. You can do a close slash 2s 5H. That's what I would go for if you're trying to kill. That's solid damage for that 50 meter. You can of course also go for something like, oh, sorry. I want to do the fast RC combo. But I'm like not high enough. Yeah, you need to drift a bit upwards to do it. Yeah, okay. Maybe you can do it like this. It looks pretty stylish. What did I do there? 5k 6h. This seems a bit too janky. I just want to land it since it looks cool. How do you break the wall there? Good question, poser. Yeah, you could do something like this. I recommend the BRC route. A Faust exclusive combo that I know is that you could do a JH into a JH into a falling JH. So JS JH, JH, falling JH. You can basically just spam the JH, it works. It should work. Yeah, like this. This is like a meterless combo, so you can spend your meter to do super there. But is Faust exclusive? It's due to his like strange hurt box. You can also do this, would be consistent. In some spacings, you can get it to work on other characters as well, but I would generally stay away from it and just go for the JS air dash. I think it's a good enough way to kill your opponent. Like this. At the wall, if you're ever doing this, a close slash RC here is fine. Going for a 2S there will break the wall. You can also go for a close slash like this. If you do 2S there, will also break the wall. Wait, let me try and show this. Like this. As you can see, the damage is not too high. This is not the best starter. It's not super exciting. Not too much sauce. This is another Faust specific stuff. But yeah, I think this is pretty much the JS video. I have to say, I wasn't too excited. It's like the one button I'm not super excited to talk about, because I really think since like launch, this has been like Faust's worst button, or like one of them for sure. Outside of combos, of course, because in combos it is super useful. So with that said, I think we can end it for today. Get very excited for next week. We're going to talk about J.Deez, which I think is a very important button for Faust. And after that, we're going to cover the button I think most people wanted to hear about from like the air buttons, which is J2K. So look forward to that. I will wrap things up now, I think. Yeah, it's been nice. Have a happy JSing, and I'll see you around for the next video. Bye-bye.